Greetings, YouTube. As I mentioned when I reviewed the Races of Eberron book the other day, I wanted to talk further about Warforged because I find the Warforged a fascinating race, but I'm not really completely happy how 3.5 handled them. First, I'm going to run down what Warforged are before I start talking about how I think I might change things. All right, racial traits of the Warforged. Warforged derive its hit dice, base attacks, and such from character classes. Unlike other constructs, they have a constitution score. Unlike other constructs, Warforged do not have low light vision or dark vision. Unlike other constructs, they are not immune to mind-influencing spells and abilities. They are immune to poisons, sleep effects, paralysis, disease, nausea, fatigue, exhaustion effects that cause the sickened condition and energy drain. That's kind of cool. They cannot be healed of lethal damage naturally. They are subject to critical hits, non-lethal damage, stunning, ability damage, ability drain, death effects, and necromantic effects. They can be affected by spells that target living creatures as well as those that target constructs. Damage dealt to Warforged can be healed by Cure Light Wound spells or a paired light damage spell, for example, and a Warforged is vulnerable to disabled construct and harm. However, spells from the healing, sub-school, and supernatural abilities that cure hit points damage or ability damage provide only half the normal effect. They also are vulnerable to certain kinds of things like repel metal or stone, heat metal, rusting grasp, things like that. When they go to 0 hit points, though, they are self-stabilizing. So at anywhere between 0 and whatever the negative you use in your campaign, whether it's -10 or -con, they instantly stabilize. They don't get any worse. That is very interesting. It's a good way of having a Warforged essentially be put into a coma, and you could find them at a later date. I like that. They can be raised or resurrected. They do not need to eat, sleep, or breathe, but can still benefit from the effects of consumable spell and magic items such as Hero's Feast and potions. The Warforged wizards must rest for 8 hours before preparing spells. +2 con, -2 wisdom, -2 charisma. Medium size, land speed of 30. Composite plating, the standard composite plating is +2. It's not natural armor and does not stack with other effects that give an armor bonus. This composite plating occupies the same space as on the body as a suit of armor or a robe, so you can't use them. They can be magically enhanced, though the Warforged has to basically stand around while he is being magicked. I thought that was kind of interesting kind of thing. It also gives the Warforged a 5% arcane spell failure. Similar to wearing light armor. The Warforged have light fortification because of their artificial nature. They have a natural slam attack, a single, which is a die of 4 of lethal damage, not non-lethal damage. Automatic language bonus, none, favorite class, fighter. Okay, that gives you what a Warforged is. And I'm probably going to have to do this in 2 videos because I've got quite a bit ways to go. Now, I've been spoiled by Pathfinder. I like how Pathfinder does things. And most of the Pathfinder races that have 2 bonus to their stats, like a +2 strength or a +2 con, only have a single negative. I like that. Humans, half-orcs, and half-elves only have 1 positive bonus. They have a +2 to whatever stat you want to stick it in. That makes them the generalists as far as the organic races go, and that is what they are. It's what they should be. Now, the Warforged here are +2 con, -2 wisdom, -2 charisma. And this baffles me. I understand the -2 charisma. They're alien creatures. They don't think or feel or react like organic beings. Makes perfect sense they have -2 charisma. I have no problem with that. +2 con, that makes sense. But a -2 wisdom? Why is it they don't have the ability to perceive the world around them and make judgment calls? That doesn't sound... I mean, I can understand a -2 to your sense motive check or maybe bluff, something like that, because you don't know how to relate to people. But wisdom is more than just relating to people. Wisdom is your ability to collate data and make judgments. So I don't like that. So how would I change it? I would go the Pathfinder route. I would give the Warforged a +2 strength, +2 con, and a -2 charisma. They're supposed to be warriors. They were designed to be warriors. They are shown in picture after picture after picture in all the different books as being very strong. But they don't have a bonus to their strength. Now, you can say, well, if they're fighters, and most of them are going to be fighters, they would naturally have a bonus to their strength because that's where they would put their point buy into your strength. I call the bull on that. That's like giving wizards really crappy skill points because they're going to have a high intelligence because they're wizards. Wizards are one of the most academic classes in the entire game, and yet they have almost no skill points. It makes absolutely no sense to me. You're penalizing the class because that is their primary ability, which also happens to give skill points. I don't like it. I've never liked it. So, assuming that all Warforged are going to be strong just because they are fighters, you don't give them a bonus to their strength, I think is also wrong. So, +2 strength, +2 con, -2 wisdom, -2 charisma rather. I would also give them automatically a bonus, basically a damage reduction against non-lethal damage. Not non-lethal accrued damage, you know, if they're doing something that gives them non-lethal damage, but non-lethal damage from attacks. Because I think if you are essentially a construct made out of metal and wood and stone, if a human punches you, you should laugh at them. You should not have to worry about what they have just done to you. It makes no sense. So, give a bonus equal to their composite plating as damage reduction. So a standard Warforged gets a DR of 2 against non-lethal damage. If they have the mithril body, which gives them a +5, it gets a +5. If they have the adamantine bonus from the adamantine body plating, that gives them a +8. They have a DR of 8 against non-lethal attacks. Bingo. No one's punching a Warforged with a sap or a hand or something and hurting them. Monks can do it, but your average person just can't hurt one. And that's how I like it. Now, I would take this further. Warforged are created. They're made. Most of them, the vast majority of them, probably 90% or more, were designed to be grunts. So, +2 strength, +2 con, -2 charisma. But not all Warforged are the same. Why are all Warforged built the same? Why aren't some Warforged built to fill specific roles beyond grunt? And I'm going to pause here and I'm going to start another segment.